Here I'm going to show you how to create and edit the menus for your website, which are usually the words and text that people see either at the top or the bottom of the site, but you could have a menu actually really anywhere, but those are the most common places. So when we're in our dashboard, you're going to go over to Appearance and then Menus. And when you're just starting out on a site, there are no menus set up, so you get to create them. You can actually make as many as you like. Usually people do two, a primary menu and then a footer menu. But you can actually have a secondary menu, which often people have at the top. If you particularly have more than average navigation or a special section of a menu that you wanted to create for your site, you can also create a separate menu just for the mobile view of your site, which allows people to see specific pages and navigate around that way. But let's say we're just starting out and we want to actually make a menu. You'll get over to Appearance and then Menus, and you'll come here. So we don't have a menu, so it's asking us to create our first menu. And we're just going to make this one called the primary menu because it actually matches up with preset locations on your site for where the menus actually are. So the primary menu would be the one that is what people see along the top of the page. It's the main navigational point. So we're going to go and click Create Menu. So we can manage the locations for our menu. You see up here at the other tab, and you can set where each of these are. So these are the different menus that it comes preset. If you create a different one, it will say that here. But we've picked where the primary location preset goes to the one that we've created called primary, okay? So if we make a secondary one, we would name that something else if we wanted, and when we make a footer menu, we'll do that. So let's go back to the Edit Menus tab, and we're gonna set what's in our primary menu. There, over here, you can add several options to your menu, including pages on your site. You can bring in posts. If you had blog posts already written up, you could have those on a menu. You can also create a custom link. So if you have something like a separate shopping site or something different, a client portal, or you teach courses and you have a course portal on a different page, you can certainly add that to your menu. And you can add categories if you had blog posts already written. For this, we're just going to stick with pages, and we're going to go to View All, and that's going to show you all of the pages. This is a very new site, so it's just a very basic setup. But we're going to go and click, we want to add the home, the about page, and the work with me page, and click Add to Menu. And then we get to see that those will come up as navigational items on the primary menu, which we are working with. The great thing about here is you can move these, you can drag and drop them in a different order if you wanted. And when you do see that little slide over part, see the outline behind that, that will create a drop down item. So say you wanted to have your about page here, and then you wanted to have work with me under the about page, you can go and do that, and it will be created as a sub item like it says. But we want this as a main item, just as this particular example. So this is what we have so far for the menu. Again, it's selected as our primary, which means it will show where we set it to show, and we're gonna hit Save Menu. So let's say we want to work with a different menu. You can go ahead and create that different one, which we'll do here. We want to make the footer menu. Let's title it that. Footer menu. It goes in the footer spot, and we're going to go Create Menu. So say we want to add things to the footer menu. Here we are at the page again. And we know this because now that we have more than one menu created, it gives us a drop down. So if we wanted to switch between, we would pick which one we wanted to go to and hit select. That will take us to the menu that we're working with. So now we're on the footer menu. And in that one, we want to add our privacy policy, and say we want to add home as well. If you had other settings, people often put things like disclaimers, disclosures, shopping links, things like that on their footer menus. But this one will show up like that. We can go ahead and hit Save Menu. And then say we're going to go into the website to customize any of these. You'll be able to see what the menus are and where they look like. So here's an example up in the top right of what the menu looks like. If you want to edit the font or colors, you can do that here to edit the element. And then also at the bottom, when we scroll all the way down, we see the home and the privacy policy, which we created back in that footer menu. So this is the placement of the footer menu. You can edit it. You'll see that the footer navigation is showing up. That's what you are editing here. And you can go ahead and make any changes to anything that you want. The colors of the menu, you can scroll down and see the changes happening live when you edit these right here, and then go ahead and publish any changes when you make those. So that is how you edit and create and revise any of the menus, navigational things for people to get around on your site.